Hello there.
Presented by the Atlas Strength Shop. This is the Atlas Nerds in Iron podcast. With your hosts, Cameron Ray and Tyler Hales.
Good morning. Welcome to the Atlas Nerds in Iron podcast. Today is going to be a little different. First of all, there will be no YouTube version of this recording because due to extenuating circumstances from the winter storm, we are not able to record this in person together in the studio. I'm your host, Cameron Ray. I got our co-host, Tyler Hales, on the line. How you doing today, Tyler?
I'm good, man. How's everybody out there?
Well, so far, so good. The cold weather has passed. Honestly, it's just a waiting game to see how long this is going. Without getting into too many details, my National Guard unit was called up to just help with the recovery. So we're going to try to piece together a podcast the best we can and hopefully get to y'all at our normal podcast schedule, which is Monday at 6:30. So let's go ahead and we'll get the ball rolling. We'll talk about our sponsors for a little bit. None of this is possible without our chief sponsor, and that is going to be Unmasked Studio. Unmasked Studio, you can go find them on Instagram at Unmasked Studio, is a boutique cosplay maker. He also does a lot of other tailoring work as well, which we were talking about in the last podcast. But yeah, Go check him out, Unmasked Studio. He has some really awesome stuff. I don't care what you look like in the real world, this dude's going to give you some abs. I mean, it is unreal. Next up, we have Strikeforce Energy. Use promo code Atlas Strength at StrikeForceEnergy.com and you will save 20%. What is Strikeforce Energy? Strikeforce Energy is a veteran-owned supplement company. So it comes in little 10-ounce packets or a 700-milliliter pump bottle. You just put a little bit of the liquid in whatever you're drinking, whether that is water, fruit juice, kombucha, vodka, whatever, and it's going to give you some caffeine to help get you through the day. Again, use promo code Atlas Strength at StrikeForceEnergy.com, or you can click the link in the bio. That is our affiliate link. You can go ahead and skip that middleman. We actually have another sponsor coming on. Would you like to tell us about our newest sponsor, Tyler? You've had a relationship with him for a while now.
Yeah. So our newest sponsor is Impact Mouthguards. They for close to a decade now, probably around a decade now, they've been making mouthguards for combat sports and team contact sports. These guys really got into things because they needed custom fit mouthguards, but the only place they could get them was the dentist's office. And I don't know if anybody's ever had anything from a dentist office. It's not cheap. So they got to work on their own version of a custom mouth guard. And fast forward to today in our time now, and they're breaking into, successfully might I add, into the strength world. Before I met these guys, I used a competitor's mouth guard. It was a bowl and bite thing. It didn't really hold up. Met these guys at Alabama's Strongest, and I got custom fit for a mouth guard. They said, we're going to beta test these things. We need feedback. Cool. And the awesome relationship that I have with them so far, it started there, and that mouth guard has been incredible. I don't grind my teeth. It's a custom fit to me. It's great, and they're affordable. Their customer service is great. I can email them if I wanted to. I could email them right now, and they'd get back to me in probably 10 or 15 minutes tops. And they're good. They're good people. They make a really good product. Definitely go check them out. The same discount code applies as the Strikeforce discount code. Atlas Strength. You're going to save 10% off. They're not only going to make an awesome mouth guard, they're going to keep your bite, your indention. They're going to keep it on file. So if something happens with it, and you need to, and you're in a bind, and you need another one quick, fast, and in a hurry, they already have your already have your mold on file, and they can go ahead and get that thing out to you pretty quick. So, yeah, check them out. Whether you do combat sports, strength sports, anything you need a mouth guard for, they even do mouth guards for like people that grind their teeth at night during their sleep. They do a lot of stuff there, and they're good people. They make good products. Definitely go check them out. If you decide to buy something from them, use the Atlas Strength discount code, and everybody wins. So yeah, there's that.
Also, we do have a link for them as well in our bio on Instagram. So if for some reason you forget you forget the name of the company, but you remember it's a mouthguard company and you want to support the podcast, go to the link in our bio on Instagram and just look for Impact Mouthguard. It's not an affiliate link, so you still have to put in the promo code, but that'll get you to their website. It's amazing. Tyler was talking about their customer service and how you can email them and they'll get back to you within a few minutes. That's one of the main reasons I tend to go with any of the companies that are out there. Just because you don't get that from some of their competitors. I can't remember the name of the main competitor that all the weightlifters use, and seeing as how Impact Mouthguards is sponsoring, I guess I wouldn't plug them anyway. But you all know who I'm talking about. There's another competitor out there that says that they are the lifting mouthguard, but they're not going to get back to you nearly as quick as Impact Mouthguards will.
I can say from personal experience now that I've used that mouth guard and I've used Impact as well. Impact, they're putting their heart and soul into their product. They're not spitting mouth guards out at the end of an assembly line. They're taking your needs into consideration when they make your product.
Definitely. And they're completely customizable. And I don't know about a lot of y'all, but their competitor's mouth guard, I can't remember what they're called, but I wouldn't plug them anyway. Those
Let's just not even talk about them.
Yeah, those trigger gag reflex for me. Because they don't go all the way across your teeth, they come across under the tongue. Yeah, I can't do it.
Well, I don't know about you, but I use my mouth guard to brace. Yeah. I bite down, and whenever I bite down, when I bit down on that old one, it would just kind of wobble from side to side, and it didn't hit my bite just right. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. With the Impact Guard, all of your teeth are going to be covered, every bit of it, and you're going to be able to bite down, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to slide. It's not going to break. I don't care how hard you bite down on it. You're not going to break that mouth guard.
But yeah, definitely. So I know we've been at sponsors for a few minutes right now. You want to go ahead and get to what we're going to talk about today?
Sure. Yeah. We are, of course, we're going to cover. And we're up to 7 episodes on WandaVision now.
7 episodes.
And this week was a doozy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about WandaVision. We're going to recap episode 7. Had a couple of things drop over the past week or two that are worth mentioning in the nerd world. You got the Snyder Cut heating up. I think that's dropping what?
I think it's
next
April.
month.
Yeah, it is next month. What was I thinking of? Mortal Kombat was what I was thinking of. This dropping in April, both on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And then we got Godzilla coming here in a few months as well on HBO Max. 2021 is going to be huge for them. Let's go ahead and talk about that WandaVision first. So if you watch the episode, you'll notice that we are now in the year 2000s. They opened up the opening credit scene. They've been ripping off a lot of, I don't want to say ripping off, but paying homage to a lot of TV throughout the decades. And this time they definitely did The Office, which is great because, because you've got John Krasinski has been playing Agent Wu, had a part on The Office for a long time, and that has definitely been awesome. So you had a lot of that throughout the show. Where they would have like the side interviews where they pull them into another room and they talk to them. somebody else told me that it mimicked another show that I wasn't familiar with called Modern Family.
Modern Family, yes.
Are you familiar with that show?
I've watched a good bit of it, yeah.
Okay.
I've watched it in passing. It's not something I sat down and watched week in, week out, but I've caught enough of it to know that it's entertaining. And actually, one of their, what's her name? Correct me if I'm wrong out there in the Nerds and On world, but I think it's Julie Bowen that plays on that show.
What character does she play? Because I'm not familiar with that person.
Oh, what's her character's name? I'm trying to think of what else you've seen her in.
What character was she?
Oh, she played. Okay, I can't remember her character's name on the show. Like I said, I've only watched it in passing, but she was the publicist. She was the golf tour publicist. The really good looking one from Happy Gilmore. If you remember her.
I don't.
You don't? Okay. But it's the same woman, and she tweeted out that she was incredibly flattered that, for as innovative as WandaVision is, as far as, just making forward progress in the MCU and everything like that, she was extremely flattered that they paid homage to the TV show. Modern Family.
Definitely. I'm gonna have to give Modern Family a watch just so I can appreciate WandaVision more. That's kind of what I feel like now.
It's not bad.
So in the plot, they open it up. You're in Wanda's house. Billy and Tommy, they're there, and her powers are on the fritz. This takes place right after she expended a lot of energy to increase the dome. And I'm guessing they didn't come out and spell it, but what I'm guessing is happening is that increased range of her power means that it's not as focused, so she can't control it quite so much. So we saw a lot of things glitching out. Like we saw the game controllers go from GameCube to Atari to to Super Nintendo, just jumping from decade to decade, depending on on what you see. We also saw her almond milk turn to soy milk, turn to whole milk. So she's definitely not able to control what she's doing anymore. We also saw that Vision wasn't with the family. So after all that, she didn't bother to go and collect Vision and get him safe in the house. I don't know why she didn't do that. It kind of gave the impression that she expended that energy and just kind of passed out and woke up in her own house.
Right.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I know they're going to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come to light over the next couple of weeks. But I remember, I think we discussed it in passing in one of our earlier episodes that, at times it was already seen that Wanda could be a little sloppy here and there with things that she was trying to control. Mm-hmm. And she had to rewind a couple of times to correct what she didn't like, and I really think that increased tremendously when she had to double the size of Westview. So, and I want to discuss something else, but it's going to come a little further into our discussion. But okay. I'll point it out whenever I mention it, okay. And you'll probably know when I do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, Agnes at this point, she took on the kids so one could get some rest, and
we got to see she's still in her Halloween costume.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, she took the kids over to her place. She's talking to the kids. For some reason, Billy can't read her mind, so that's really interesting. Or is it Tommy? I'm getting her kids mixed up.
It's easy to. I mean,
they're basically identical. Like, you get your kids messed up too. It happens. But
it does.
But he mentions that he can't read Agnes's mind. That's kind of a clue that something that comes later, which we'll touch on. I'm trying to actually do this in order this go around instead of my ADD just jumping all over the show. Or last episode, we jumped around 3 shows, and it was ridiculous. Like, we jumped all over the place. Anyway, so we cut over to Vision, and he wakes up outside of the circus, and everybody thinks he's a circus clown. And that's when we see the escape artist, Darcy, all chained up to the truck.
Yep.
So, Darcy, she's been taken over by Wanda. She's fully immersed in the environment. And Vision brings her out of it, and they kind of have like a buddy thing going on through the rest of the episode, trying to figure out what's going on. And It's funny because they do some of the same Office spoof with the interviews with Vision there, and he suddenly realizes about 3/4 of the way through the episode that playing along with this is stupid, and he just flies off. He realized that it's all just ridiculous. We know that somebody still knows that they're out there and is trying to keep them from getting back home. Whether that's Wanda or whether that's the person that we're about to talk about, we don't really know yet. But when they're driving back, they keep getting stopped by red light after red light. A road crew comes and starts working on the power lines. So it's just one thing after another, and eventually Vision just flies off and just leaves Darcy there. So we'll see what happens with Darcy. So then we get towards the end of the episode where Wanda wakes up and she goes over to Agnes's house to look for her kids. And no, I'm sorry, that isn't what happened.
We have to rewind. That's not quite what happened.
Yeah, we have to rewind. Jump to Agent Wu. Yeah, catapult to Agent Wu and Maria Rambeau's character. Well, that is the character.
Yes.
They get the craft that they were wanting, which it turns out is not Reed Richards, which I really didn't think it would be Reed Richards because they're not going to introduce such a pivotal character in this way. They're going to bring him in a much bigger way.
Right.
They get this vehicle. This vehicle has been hyped up in all the trailers and throughout the last couple episodes. Turns out to be a complete dud. Like, it didn't even work a little bit. But Maria Rambeau decides just to run through it. It's a really bad idea, but she's able to make it through due to, due in part, I'm sure, to her already rewritten DNA. And, we can kind of tell right away with the color change in her eyes that something's changed even more.
Yeah, she's a little bit more than Captain Rambeau at this point.
Yep.
And you talked about the vehicle being a complete dud. It did make it part of the way through before it was ejected out, and it was half awesome machine. The other half was this old wooden panel Dodge van.
Different awesome machine.
Yeah, different awesome machine. Exactly. And so, yes, as Captain Rambeau was going through, you got to see different versions of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she had flashbacks and things like that going on as she was just, making her way through there. And on the other side, and this is the part I was going to mention before, this is where Pixar got involved because, Rambo had a dump truck, and
I completely missed that.
Oh man, you're going to have to go back because, I mean, they curved her in a Pixar way.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay. I'll have to go back and look at that because it is definitely something that I missed out. That I missed.
Well, research and development. There you go.
Yeah, definitely. So Maria gets into town, and she makes her way directly to Wanda's house. She barges in. Wanda's like, "What are you doing here?" And they have it out. And they get into a tussle in the streets, and that's when we find out that Maria Rambeau has her power. She is now Photon. She doesn't have her name yet, but she is Photon now.
Yes, she is.
And that's when Agnes comes out, breaks it up, and they have their meme with the woman yelling at the cat moment. And Agnes drags Wanda into her house and just leaves Maria out there. Why Maria didn't follow them, I don't know. I don't remember if they covered that or not, but I don't think they did because I feel like that would stand out.
Well,
But
I feel like at this point, everything is her powers, what she does and doesn't know at this point is still all really brand new. So maybe she didn't, to use a old term, didn't want to bring a knife to a gunfight.
maybe so. Yeah, she doesn't know what she can do yet.
Right.
So now we cut to Wanda in Agnes's house. We still haven't met Ralph yet, which I still think we are going to wind up meeting Ralph, and I think we still know who Ralph is. I think that big reveal is coming in the next episode. Wanda's like, where are the twins? Because they aren't there. The sandwiches are half eaten. The rabbit is put up. So Agnes says, I think they're playing in the basement. So, of course, like any mother does, she gets up, she goes, checks the basement, and the basement is creepy as hell. Like, it's full-on torture chamber down there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when we get the big reveal that, as a lot of people guessed, I don't know if we talked about it or not on the show, but
I believe
Agnes
we did.
Agnes turns out to be Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness.
Yep. Which is a character that got her start in the Fantastic Four. So we still might see Reed Richards, but I doubt it. She got her start in the Fantastic Four, and she wound up being heavily involved in Wanda's life. She was responsible for the creation of the twins, which turned out to be Shards and Mephisto. She was also responsible for training Scarlet Witch how to use her powers more effectively. So I think we're kind of seeing a little bit of that storyline going on with this. Now, whether or not she gets to keep the kids after this, who knows? Because that was.
She was. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't. It's a lot harder when we're not looking at each other. But,
absolutely.
But yeah, like in the comics, they actually retconned it to where Mephisto reabsorbed the children. So I don't know if we're going to see that or not. I would like to think not, because it would be really cool to have a Young Avengers series later on, and they would play a very pivotal role in that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and that's when we get the big reveal that it's been Agnes all along, and she gets her own theme song, which is extremely catchy and
put off an old Munsters vibe.
Yep. We're not going to play it right now because Disney will pull us down. But which by the way, write this down. If you ever film a sex tape with your partner, if you play Disney music in the background, Disney's lawyers will fight to have it pulled down off of the internet if you get it put up accidentally. So if you're ever worried about your sex tapes leaking, just play Disney movies in the background. Disney will take care of it.
Yeah. Just throw on some Under the Sea while you clapping cheeks.
Yep, there you go. Write that down, earbuds, children. So yeah, that about covered it for WandaVision this week. We have a few more days until the next one comes out.
Right. I got one more thing we need to talk about. Well, one thing ties into another thing, I guess.
Okay, what you got?
We didn't mention the fact that Agatha was responsible for Pietro being there.
Yep. Yeah, we did figure that out.
And then we get in episode 7 our first post-credit scene.
We did get a mid-credit scene. Where she's trying to get into the basement and Pietro's still there.
Yeah.
So, don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I guess we're going to find that out.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We also don't know how Agnes even knows who the hell Pietro is in that timeline.
Right. It's still a very cloudy issue because even in the previous episode, Wanda was questioning the hell out of Pietro, and
he didn't know either.
Accent. Yeah, he didn't know either. Exactly. He knew everything, just about everything he needed to know about Wanda.
Yep.
Well, he knew nothing about himself. It's
weird because in the comics they have two different kinds of magic. They have interdimensional magic, which is the magic that Doctor Strange tends to draw on. And it comes from these beings in another dimension. Mm-hmm. And then you have ambient magic, which is just the magic that exists in the universe, which derives from the character Eternity.
Gotcha.
Ambient magic is supposed to be what Wanda Maximoff uses. It's what Agatha Harkness uses. but she's able to pull characters from other dimensions. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I don't know how they're going to explain that. My theory is the way they're going to do it is their powers come somehow from Mephisto. That's my theory, because the MCU likes to retcon things.
Right.
So do you want to talk about these trailers at all, or do you just want to kind of mention that they existed and move on, have people go look at them themselves?
You talking about okay. So this we're going to get the the much wanted Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yes. I know I really only have one big thing to say about it, and that's that Darkseid looked awesome.
Yes.
That's really the only thing that I have to add. That looked to be the only thing glaring that was really that new. That
right.
And Jared Leto is going to have more time as the Joker, which I can take that or leave it.
I mean, you know what? Jared has a chance to redeem himself as the Joker, because
I don't think he will.
We'll see. Look, Jared can do certain things really well, but when he's bad at things, he's really fucking bad at it.
And there is no amount of makeup and special effects that will make Jared Leto seem intimidating to me.
No, and I didn't really care for the, he's already been put out there as this gangster / meth addict looking Joker, which it played more off the.
You there?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now. We'll be able to kind of splice that through.
Okay, phone timed out. There we go. But we've already had the Jared Leto, which was like this, Cadillac driving, flashy gangster type. It just didn't. It didn't work well.
It reminded me of the cheesiness of the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
From the 90s. That's what it reminded me of.
It put off a vibe of that. Yes.
Yeah, super campy, super over the top. Like you are playing a cartoon character, well, a comic book character, but you don't have to act comic booky. And he acted comic booky.
Right.
It wasn't grounded in reality in the slightest.
And now you're seeing Jared Leto with the Joker makeup and the not really. It's like it looks like a great value brand Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah, and
it's not his own.
No, it's not. And me personally, leave Heath Ledger's Joker alone. He did that. It stands still in time. Yeah, leave it alone. It was good. It can't be better. He's dead and gone. Rest in peace. He did it justice. That no pun intended. Mm-hmm. But the Dark Knight trilogy stands on its own.
Definitely.
Good cinema. So if you want to play off a few things here and there, be careful with it. But go ahead. Yeah.
Agreed. And now, if you really want to see a good Joker, if you never watched the Gotham series, it's on Netflix. Go check it out. But they have a character. You have a reoccurring character that is their Joker character, and it is very, very well done, especially for a television show.
Me personally, my favorite is Mark Hamill's Joker.
Oh yeah, can't be Mark Hamill's Joker.
Yeah.
How interesting would that be if Mark Hamill played a live action Joker? I don't think he has the body type to pull it off, but like. All right, picture this. What if he did it as an old Joker in a Batman Beyond?
That would be great.
Like, picture Michael Keaton playing an old Bruce Wayne and bring in Mark Hamill to play an old Joker.
Like, if you said Jack Nicholson, at this point, Jack Nicholson's just
Jack Nicholson hasn't done a movie in 10 years.
Right. He's retired from acting. I think at this point he'd be a little too old to do it. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to do something like that to rival Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, man,
Mark Hamill's the only guy who could do it.
You got a window here, and if you're going to do it, you need to do it.
Unless they just completely beefed Kevin Conroy up, which, let's face it, that's not happening.
Kevin Conroy's on up there too, and I just don't think he's gonna. He doesn't have the body type.
He doesn't. He's a smaller guy. He sounds intimidating, but he is not look intimidating.
Right.
But Michael Keaton is the guy who needs to play an old Bruce Wayne. There's no way around that.
Fully agree. Okay,
now, you go.
No, you go, because I think you were still talking about this.
No, I wasn't. I was about to move on to Mortal Kombat.
So was I. Look at there.
Look at that. Twins.
Twinsies.
I'll never buy you a Coke. But, that Mortal Kombat trailer was incredible. We have been seeing fan-made Mortal Kombat trailers, professionally made Mortal Kombat trailers trying to pitch the idea of a modern Mortal Kombat movie. Ever since I got out of high school.
You showed me one, I think it was about a year ago. It was a fan-made trailer, and it had Michael J. White in it, didn't it?
That wasn't fan-made. An actual, I don't remember what director made it, but it was made by a Hollywood director as a way to pitch doing a Mortal Kombat.
Okay. I got you.
It was right up there with the CGI Deadpool scene that got leaked on the internet in 2014.
Yeah.
That launched them actually greenlighting doing Deadpool. It was right up there with that. It was to drum hype and to get the studio to greenlight it. But at the time, studios were not greenlighting that kind of film.
Right.
Now they are.
Oh,
and it looks perfect.
Yeah. Well, Deadpool changed a lot of norms for superhero Hollywood movies, and
it really did. Like it showed Hollywood that these kind of franchises aren't just for kids, and adults enjoy them too.
Right.
Like the Mortal Kombat that came out in the 90s, it was all campy because they were trying to make it to where you could let your kids watch it.
Right.
And I love those movies because they're I don't want to say they're timeless because they're definitely dated, but I remember watching those movies as a little kid, and I still get nostalgic anytime they come on TV, and I'm going to watch them.
Absolutely.
Even though they were bad. But this trailer, it stands apart. It's
been an ongoing trend for the past, 25, 30 years now. Adaptations of video games into Hollywood films aren't typically good. Mm-hmm. They've tried so many times, and I don't know what they can't get right about it.
It just a lot of times it just doesn't adapt well, man. Like that's one of the reasons why Justice League, or really the DCU, has done such a poor job. Is because unlike Marvel, where those characters are grounded in reality, Superman is a literal god.
Right.
Like, the only thing limiting what he does is himself. And it's very hard to put that on screen. That's why you can't make a good live-action Dragon Ball Z movie. It's not going to work.
Right. And they tried that shit, too.
They did. We can talk about that one day.
Do we have to?
I mean, we would need to actually make you watch all of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Before you watch, and then make you watch that, just so you could be as angry as you should be that it exists.
Well,
because without being as familiar as I am with the original source material, you're just not going to have the appropriate level of anger. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm getting worked up now thinking about it. And I might break my iPad.
They did the same thing with The Last Airbender.
They did. That's another thing I was thinking of is Avatar.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that was good stuff, but the movie.
That was M. Night Shyamalan. How are you going to put the director of The Sixth Sense in charge of The Last Airbender? It doesn't make sense. Like, what sense does that make?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Dave Filoni was involved with The Last Airbender before he moved into working with Lucasfilm. And
well, we forgive him.
Yeah. Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, no. He can...
kick rocks.
Yeah, he can kiss the fattest part of my ass.
So yeah, we've got we've got, like you said, Snyder Cut. You got Godzilla and Kong coming up. You got Mortal Kombat coming up. They got a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
It is
in the.
We have a lot of things to talk about,
and
which is good because we only have one more episode of WandaVision, I think.
That's fine, but you know what? In 2 more weeks after that, we move into Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That is true. Which I'm not as excited about that one, but we can talk.
Still gonna watch it, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it because you have to. They're all connected. Like you can't not watch it.
But yeah, for as much flack as Disney gets for, we even talked about it on last week's episode, the United States of Disney. If you're looking for YouTube material, go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
definitely.
But for as much flack as they get here and there and everywhere, they're pumping out some good source material right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I know I'm looking at the time and what time they got me waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
I know we talked about we were going to talk about ego lifting.
Yes.
And training versus testing, but I want to flesh that out in my brain a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Before I just come out and just start word vomiting. Because the last time we touched the subject on subject that I was passionate about was when we talked about the coach hopping.
Right.
And I kind of word vomited that. So I want to get my thoughts together a little bit more, maybe write a little outline. That way it actually makes sense to people who don't have ADD.
Right.
And we can talk about that a little bit more.
Absolutely, man.
Other than that, I got to get ready for this next day of armying. So yeah, you want to talk about how we can support how people can support us again?
All right, yeah. Once again, Unmasked Studio is our chief sponsor. They were the ones that he was the one that really got helped bring this thing to fruition, and he makes boutique cosplay costumes, and I can't say enough about how incredible they look. They're I've got one in my mind right now that I want to what's the word I'm looking for? Commission. Yeah.
Are we allowed to tell people what that is?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell them. I want to do Juggernaut.
That'd be awesome.
So I've got a big build anyway. So, put a big slab of abs around me, and I could fill out a Juggernaut cosplay quite well.
Definitely.
I think I could anyway. But yeah, that's my goal for Unmasked Studio. That's what I want to pull off with them. And if you want to just get a sneak peek of how well this is going to look, just go check it out on Instagram at Unmasked Studio. Interact with them. Tell them why you're there. Tell them you listen to us and really like what they're doing over there, and just interact with them and tell them how awesome they are, because you're going to look at it and there's no way you're not going to think it's awesome. So yeah, at Unmasked Studio, again, Strike Force Energy, on the go. It's good and tasty, easy to use, easy to carry. It's going to give you a good jolt, especially that afternoon pick me up. You can drop it in just about anything and make it taste good. If you like lemon lime Gatorade, if you like grape Gatorade, this is a good piggyback for something like that. Vodka, like you said, kombucha. I like to sit around and sip on a kombucha.
That's the only way I drink kombucha is if I put Strike Force Energy in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just don't like the taste.
Right. It tastes. Let's don't get it. I mean, don't get it twisted. Kombucha is good for your gut, but it tastes like it's been strained through a set of socks.
Definitely.
But and Strike Force is going to make that bearable. But anyway, back to Strike Force. You can follow the link in our bio, or if you want to just go straight to the website, at Atlas Strength is the promo code. Punch that in. You're going to save some money. They're going to give you a great product. We get a little kickback from it. Everybody wins. You're not going to be let down by Strike Force. Give it a try. Even I know they do like a little sample pack, if I remember right, where they have a few different flavors in one box. Yep. Give that a shot.
You get a pack of 4, and it has one of each.
Right. Just try them out. See which one you like best. If you want to get some for your backpack, get another box of them. If you want it on tap, you get a whole bottle of it. You can just give it a couple of Ugga-Duggas, and you're good to go in the morning. Whichever one you want to do, it's really good stuff. Remember,
definitely
Atlas Strength at checkout, or you can follow the link in the bio. Impact mouth guards. I told y'all my testimonial about Impact. Great people, great customer service. They're going to put your needs right at the front of the line when you're talking to them. You're not going to get some person sitting in a call center. You're going to get the owner. You're going to get the owner's son. You're going to be able to email them. They're going to email you back in no time flat. They're going to they'll get your issue worked out. It's awesome customer service, awesome product. Definitely worth the money, in my opinion. I can't say enough good things about Impact. Great people, great stuff. You can also use the same promo code, Atlas Strength, at checkout. You save a little money. You get a great product. We get a little kickback. Everybody wins once again. So, yeah, definitely check them out. That's not just for lifting mouth guards. They have night guards for people that grind teeth. They also have guards for whatever sport you compete in, whether you're throwing hands at people or you're, swinging, you're throwing balls at each other, whatever you play, and you need to protect your teeth, they're the people. Anyway, Unmasked Studio, Strike Force Energy, Impact Mouth Guards. Those are our 3 sponsors. They are great, great, great people to do business with. Anything else you got, man?
Well, yeah, that's how you can support us, by supporting our sponsors. If you want to support us more directly, you can always hit us up. We'll write you a program. Our rates are very competitive, and we can get you where you want to be. Best place to do that is through Instagram at Atlas Strength Shop. You got anything else you want to add, Tyler?
If you're in the Baton Rouge area, stop by and see us. We got a great place. It's a great place to get a good lift in. So if you're in the Baton Rouge area, come see us. If you want to travel one Saturday, come see us. We gather up at 10 o'clock every Saturday morning. We have a good time. You won't be let down, I promise. But yeah, those are the ways you can support us. We thank y'all for listening. Everything. If you have anything you want us to talk about, whether it be strength related, nerd related, yeah. If you want us to watch this like really obscure movie that you adore, let us know. We'll watch it. We'll let you know about it. So yeah, thank y'all so much for supporting us so far, and yeah, we look forward to just keeping on with the content. All right, there's that.
Awesome. Well, hopefully the audio wasn't too bad. This is our first remote podcast. Listening to it, I think it's going to turn out pretty well, but you never know. So yeah, until next time, tune in every Monday, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time is when we hit all streaming platforms. Look forward to hearing y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all too.